We all have an inherent need to feel a sense of belonging and acceptance from others. This feeling is innate, as if there is a part of us constantly seeking ways to connect with people. Whether it's through the comforting embrace of a caregiver or the joyous moments spent with friends during our youth, these experiences bring us happiness and are as vital as having food and a safe place to sleep. As we mature, this need for connection becomes more complex. We begin to worry about others' opinions of us, sometimes even altering our behavior or words to gain their approval. This can lead to a sense of losing our true selves just to fit in. It presents a dilemma. On one hand, we crave acceptance and a sense of belonging, but on the other, we desire to remain true to ourselves without compromising our identity for the sake of fitting in. It's like standing at a crossroads, deciding whether to keep changing ourselves to be liked or to stay authentic, even if it means sometimes feeling excluded. It often takes reaching our lowest point, feeling exhausted, disillusioned, and utterly lost, to realize the mistakes we've made. We come to understand that we've been seeking acceptance and approval from the wrong places, looking for validation from others when the only approval we truly need is our own. Many of us grow up measuring our happiness and worth by others' opinions, successes, or significant life events. We chase approval, believing our value is based on how others perceive us. This habit of seeking external validation usually stems from not fully knowing or accepting who we are internally. If we haven't learned to appreciate ourselves, we end up relying on others to affirm our worth. This need for validation can be even stronger if we've experienced significant hurt or disappointment, especially in our formative years. However, it's important to remember that seeking some validation from those around us is natural and can contribute to healthy relationships. Sharing accomplishments with loved ones and hoping for their recognition and happiness is perfectly normal. When you're having a rough time and confide in a friend, you naturally expect their support and empathy. This kind of support and acknowledgement is beneficial and should be sought in relationships. It helps create a space where we can be authentic, share our true feelings, and not fear judgment, knowing our emotions and achievements will be appreciated. However, issues arise when we become overly dependent on external approval to feel good about ourselves. If our self-worth and happiness hinge solely on others' validation, we find ourselves in a precarious situation. Taking a close look at our lives often brings us to a point where we realize things can't continue as they are. We see that our current path isn't working, prompting us to confront our deep-seated issues and weaknesses. We strive to understand how our past influences our present behavior and thoughts, work hard to change old patterns, and most importantly, find new ways to cope by recognizing our own worth from within. Embarking on this self-improvement journey can reveal a harsh truth. Not all of our relationships will survive these changes. This difficult reality forces us to scrutinize our connections and decide their future. It's about making tough choices, knowing that as we grow, some relationships may no longer fit into our lives as they once did. When uncertain about the future, it's tempting to revert to old habits thinking it might fix strained relationships. We might believe that returning to our former selves will restore the close bonds we once had. However, reverting to old habits, while temporarily comforting or familiar, doesn't truly solve anything. It's like applying a band-aid to a wound that needs more comprehensive care. Not being true to ourselves means we're settling for a lesser version of who we are and compromising our beliefs. This not only lets us down, but also affects those around us. Our relationships lose depth because they aren't built on solid ground, lacking genuine respect and understanding. This creates a harmful cycle. The more we abandon our true selves to fit in, the more disconnected we feel from who we are and the people around us. We become stuck, constantly seeking approval without ever finding the acceptance and connection we desire. We end up feeling perpetually out of sync, never truly at peace with ourselves or our relationships. Sometimes, without even realizing it, we change to meet others' expectations, hiding our true thoughts and feelings out of fear they won't align with what others want. We sacrifice our uniqueness to blend in, hoping for acceptance. But when we start altering ourselves to fit in, we lose touch with the most important person, ourselves. We forget what we care about, what excites us, and our life goals. Our dreams and values fade as we move away from our true selves. Consequently, our friendships and relationships become less meaningful, built more on who we're pretending to be, rather than our genuine selves. These relationships can feel empty, lacking the depth and honesty we crave. So, it's crucial to ask ourselves as we navigate life, are we being true to ourselves, or are we changing to fit in? It's about finding a balance between being part of a group and staying true to who we are deep down. By being ourselves, we can build stronger, more meaningful connections with people who appreciate us for who we truly are. I hope you learned something valuable today. If you loved this video, please share, like, and comment. I appreciate your support. As always, wishing you a beautiful day.